senior. And back are a couple of Hayes boys. 15 is Stephen Hayes. He is a senior wide receiver. And 25, Craig Hayes. He is a senior running back. We had the pleasure of watching Metro Christian last year against Webster here at this stadium. But this is our first time in 2 years of coverage on Tulsa Cable to watch Berryhill. And we're glad to have the Chieftains on Tulsa Cable. Here's the kick to Hayes at the 15-yard line. This is Craig Hayes.
Lost it there for a second, but he pounces back on at the 31, and Metro Christian starts out in pretty decent field position.
From the 15 up to the 31 for a 16-yard return. And keep your eye on one of the better quarterbacks in the city, and number 4, Scott Seipert, C-Y-P-E-R-T. He's a 6-foot, 190-pound senior quarterback. He's replacing a good quarterback from last year, Brett Burleson. 25 to return the kick. Craig Hayes, one of the running backs. The other is number 20, their eye back. He's dangerous. Dion Graham, he is just a sophomore. And in motion is Craig Hayes. Fullback Stephen Hayes up to the 34-yard line. And Berryhill stops him there.
Not much doing, but you can see on offense like Metro Christian all the different things they can do with the running game. And then when they add in the play action, a lot of things for the defense to have to worry about.
Gain up to the 34. Second and a long 7. Metro last year under Peck Clark 5-6, winning 5 of their last 6 games during the regular season to get to the playoffs. Not much that time. Boy, Berryhill defense was there. They're going to give him his forward progress. And Craig Hayes will get up to the 35. Will make a 3rd down. 6 yards needed to maintain the opening possession.
That play just a little bit too slow getting started, and it probably didn't matter a whole lot. Berryhill was just waiting for him.
There's a good look at Berryhill's number 34, Shannon Bryant, 6'1", 180 linebacker. He's just a sophomore. This is a young Berryhill team, but they played very well. They're 4-3, winning only 3 games last year. Flags down at the line of scrimmage. And it appeared as though Metro might have jumped a little early. Berryhill under Russell Hall in his 2nd year, coming over from Chelsea. Chieftains returned just 6 starters from a 3-7 club last year, and all said they're very young this year with only 10 seniors among their top 24 players, but solid nucleus. And as I mentioned, they have already eclipsed last year's victory total. Last year winning 3. This year winning 4.
And this is the kind of situation they're really relishing. 3rd and 11 for Metro.
Watch for the blitz, maybe. High formation. Seipert's a good quarterback. He can throw the ball. Pressured, out of the pocket, to the 40. 45, way short of the first down, up to the 43-yard line.
And a fumble, and they're going to give it to Berryhill. Didn't see it pop out, but boy, Berryhill noticed it right away. They pounce on it, and after just a 7-yard gain, Seipert does the no-no, coughs up the ball. And boy, Berryhill, what a great situation for them to be in. Like you said, they probably needed something good to happen early to them, and this is the situation they were looking for.
Metro would clinch a playoff spot should they win this game. It's homecoming for the Patriots, whereas Berryhill would take a giant step toward the playoffs if they can win this game. So with 9.5 minutes to go, here come the Chieftains. 1st and 10. Inside Metro territory at the Metro 37-yard line. And down to the 35 they go for 2 yards.
Devin Maston is the guy who carried the football on that particular situation. He's the guy who'll see a lot of. He scored 4 touchdowns during the season.
He is number 44. There's their quarterback. He's a good one. Number 10, Brian Norris, 6'2", 175 senior. He bootlegs, play action pass, and throws for the first down, and it is batted down incomplete. Nice defense by 15, Stephen Hayes, intended for their top receiver, number 1, Terry Warren.
Warren was open, but good defense there at the last minute. Not really a bad pass or anything. The pass pretty much on the money, but a good defensive play by Metro.
Sets up 3rd down and 8. Just outside the 35-yard line of the Patriots as the quarterback Norris, one of the co-captains of this game, awaits a play from the bench.
And don't you know, he's already saying to himself, boy, it is cold here tonight.
It's going to be tough to throw the ball. We've apparently got a penalty. They're going to mark it off against the Chiefs. Delay or what procedure it is. Kind of interesting, Jack, that instead of making it 3rd and 8, Pat Clark and the Patriots decide to give take the penalty and make it 2nd and 13.
That is an interesting call. Usually they decline it.
They go up they fake up the middle and fire to the flat. Caught out of bounds. A flag down at the point of the catch. I think it might have been defensive pass interference, so Rusty Walker's catch might stand. He's a 6', 160 senior tight end there. You see him?
Good pass by the quarterback, and the fans not only want a defensive pass interference, but maybe a personal foul, but they're going to get offensive pass interference instead.
So a couple of penalties in as many plays. Berryhill on the seasons, we mentioned 4 and 3. They opened with 2 quick wins on the road at Liberty, 25-0. At Claremore Sequoia, 9-6. Lost to Chelsea, 24-6. Then opened district play, losing at home to a very fine state-ranked team, Haskell, 35-0. Won at Sperry, 18-13. Lost at home 2 weeks ago to Westville in an upset, 19-14. And then won at Beggs last week, 10-7. So this is a team, Berryhill, that is 4 and 3 on the season, but 4 and 0 on the road.
Boy, look at that penalty marked off, and now loss of down. It is 3rd and a ton, about 26, maybe 27.
We'll say 3rd and 27. The ball marked just inside their 45-yard line at the 44. 3rd and a bunch. For the quarterback, Norris. Fires incomplete, looking for Walker underneath the coverage, and that'll set up our first punting situation of the night with 8:35 to go in the opening period.
Boy, Berryhill really got the great field position, 38 of Metro, and they went the wrong way, 16 yards,
yeah, you know,
about 18 yards.
Russell Hall, the Berryhill coach, as you mentioned, in order for the Chiefs to win this game, Jack mentioned that he thought the club would have to get off to a good start, maybe score the first touchdown. They had their chance there and could do nothing with it. Thompson with the punt, and it skips toward the far sideline. What a bounce to the 20-yard line and inside the 20. He got about a 20-yard bounce on that one, and a 36-yard punt for Thompson. Nice play by Darren Thompson.
And now Metro, maybe one of the reasons they took that initial penalty is they didn't want to play to start the ball. If they were able to stop Berryhill, start at their 10-yard line after a punt, they start in at least decent enough field position at their own 20. And Dion Graham, number 20, hasn't touched the ball yet. Maybe we'll see him right here.
He is a tough running back. He had 8 carries for 105 yards against Beggs a few weeks ago. 5'9", 160 sophomore. He is the I-back. Power I formation. 2 wide receivers. This is Graham. Darts to the outside, to the 25, and slips and falls at the 28. We've got a flag at the tackle, and we've got holding against Metro Christian, so that play will be brought back.
Lots of mistakes being made by both teams at this point.
That's our 3rd penalty in the last 5 plays, so that won't help the Patriots' cause. It's homecoming here at Metro Stadium for Metro Christian Academy, and this game being played on a Thursday night, and we'd like to thank both schools for their cooperation in moving this game from a Friday to a Thursday so that we could televise 2 games this weekend. Our other game this weekend should be a good one from Claremore and Lantel Field, where the Zebras will host the Webster Warriors in another district clash.
Since it's from the point of where it happened at the 29, it's now 1st and 11 for Metro.
On the option, Seipert. He's dangerous. Gets 5 and more and a first down as he's chased out of bounds across the 35-yard line up to the 37. That's 17 yards and a first down.
I think Seipert wants to be the player of the game because so far 2 carries, 25 yards.
He is a guy that's thrown for close to 1,000 yards this season and already rushed for around 600 yards in this 1989 season. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. I formation, wide receiver to each side, and Seipert's back to pass for his first one of the game. Throws for 15. Stephen Hayes, incomplete.
Pretty good pass, but boy, that's a long ways to be throwing the football.
It's got to be tough throwing the football in this kind of weather, doesn't it? There's a good look at the quarterback, Seifert. We talked about Berryhill's record, 4-3 in their games. Metro opened their season against a tough Holland Hall team and lost to the Dutchmen 14-7, even though it was a loss. An impressive game against the Dutchmen, then won their next two. Lost to Cassia Hall, another great team, 29-0. And then have won 3 in a row. They lost to Holland Hall, then beat Union's JV team 21-0, then won at Webster 35-0. Then lost at home to Cassia 29-0, bounced back at Shoto 28-21, beat Beggs 20-14, and last week at Westville beat that team 21-14. So they've won 3 in a row and 5 of their last 6. And here we have a 2nd down 5 after the penalty against Berryhill.
Nice pitch.
New running back to the 50, the 45-yard line, and a first down for John Webb, 5'9", 155 senior.
Scott Seifert, a perfect pitch on that play. He was harassed from the very, very beginning, able to get it off somehow. Got past the first tackler, made the man defensively who was going to take the pitch man come up and take the quarterback, and then the pitch quickly back there, and another big gain, a good first down.
Down to the Berryhill 43-yard line after a 15-yard run. From their 42 to the Berryhill 43 by John Webb. And he has played quite a bit this season. He leaves and Graham checks in. The fullback remains Craig Hayes. Quarterback is Seifert. He rolls out and fires complete to the 30. Nice move by the wide receiver. That is 15, Stephen Hayes, who is a 5'10", 145 senior.
Boy, big gain of 17, and just like that, 2 plays in a row, 15 and 17, they've gone all the way down to the 26-yard line of Berryhill. Shows you how versatile they have been, too, in the last few plays.
That's the 3rd first down of this drive with 6 minutes to go. Midway first period, no score. The Patriots homecoming and trying to get on top early.
Oh, good play. Didn't have anything, so he'll take it outside.
Inside the 25 they go. They had me faked out on the play, and that is 25, Craig Hayes. Nice run of 2 yards at 2nd down 8.
Not a whole lot there. They just basic fullback dive, but everybody was expecting it for Berryhill, so he just cut it at the outside and could have lost 5 on the play, but still a pretty good choice on his part because he was trying to make something happen.
Stopped by 65, Otis Williams. He's a 5'10", 150 junior nose guard. Seifert on 2nd and 8. Look out, he gets away. Still trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he's got a wall set up now. 25, 20, 15, to the 10, and close to the out of bounds at the 3-yard line. No flags down, and nice work by the senior quarterback, Scott Seifert.
Boy, what a run. Offensive line doing a great job, too, because what they had done, they had saved the possibility of him to pass the football still. He had never crossed the line of scrimmage when he was over there on the far side of the field. So they were very, very disciplined, kept their proper place behind the line of scrimmage, and then once they saw their quarterback was running, they took off with him.
Beautiful 20-yard gallop by the quarterback Seifert. 1st and goal from the Berryhill Chieftain 4-yard line. Just under 5 minutes left opening period. Seifert quickly falls on it back at the 8-yard line, and he'll lose 4 there. But he did a good job there, Jack.
He really did. Thought quickly. I guess you see the fumble to a fumble deal. You just get on it. Don't try to pick it up.
We had the pleasure of going to the OU Texas game last weekend and then seeing the Cowboys on Sunday. As you were there, I saw New Star H Truck, and Steve Walsh performed very well last week, but a couple of times he fumbled the ball on the snap and then tried to pick it up and kicked it around and lost it to the 49ers.
Yep.
Seifert keeps back to the 5-yard line, so he'll get 3 of the 4 yards that he lost on the previous plays. We hit the 4-minute mark of the opening period, and it'll set up 3rd down and goal now.
Berryhill's defense stiffening, especially to have the opportunity thanks to Seifert fumbling the 1st down snap, but Metro's been so successful on this drive, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Play action pass, maybe?
Yeah, that's a good call. John Webb, 23, comes in. Apparently for Graham and a wide receiver to each side. 3.5 minutes to go. Opening period, no score, but it's 3rd and goal from the Berryhill 5. Seifert keeps inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. And that'll bring up 4th and goal. We'll see if Peck Clark decides to go for it or bring in Jason Stairs for an apparent field goal.
He's a good kicker, too. But they're going to go. And Sanders, brother Dion Graham, brings the play in.
Keep in mind, Graham has touched the ball only once, but that was brought back on a penalty. So it's 4th and goal from the Berryhill 3-minute mark, first period. There's Graham. Keep your eye on him. He's set back at the 10-yard line. He's deep in the backfield. Seifert has to keep it, and he scores. What a job by the quarterback Seifert, who looked like he wasn't going to get there and got the job done.
Really a great job by Seifert, because first I thought he made a bad decision. I thought he should have pitched it and let his tailback go one-on-one and hope something good would happen, because it didn't look like he could. There was any way he could get past 2 or 3 defenders, but somehow Scott Seifert knifed his way in there. Good short touchdown run on 4th down. And we've seen a lot of that this year. Key 4th down plays being converted by offenses.
You're exactly right. 80 yards in 10 plays. Stairs for the extra point kick. Oh, it looked like Berryhill smothered it, but it goes through the uprights, and with 2:44 to go in the opening period, it's homecoming here at Metro Stadium, and the Patriots open up with a 7-0 lead. Tack on the extra point, and he'll kick off to number 1, Terry Warren, or number 34, Shannon Bryant. And this one hits
Don't let it go.
line.
That's a live ball. And they are in some kind of trouble.
Or are they? Up to the 20-yard line. And out of bounds goes number 4, Brett Mull, M-U-L-L, 5'10", 150 senior.
Looked like Terry Warren just assumed it was going to go in the end zone. He was ready to go ahead and take his offensive stance, but that's a live ball. Never got into the end zone.
From the 1-yard line up to the 20. How's that for irony? Could have gone into the end zone, and it'd be exactly where it is right now. As number 10, the quarterback, Brian Norris, comes in. That is a live ball, and I guess he obviously got confused to where he lined up. Leonard Thompson did that, former wide receiver with the Lions, who played at Oklahoma State against Oklahoma in a big game, big Bedlam game years ago. Let a kick roll down and thought it was a punt, let it die inside the 5-yard line. OU smothered it, went on to win. Devin Matston, the ball carrier from the 20. Nice run up to the 26-yard line, makes it 2nd down and 4 from the 26. Maston, M-A-S-T-I-N, number 44 is their leading ball carrier, 5'9", 175 senior. Here's a look at Devin. Also their leading scorer with 4 touchdowns. They go to the fullback, and he gets a yard, and that's about it.
Little confusion. The quarterback and the running back slamming into each other a bit there.
Quarterback indeed, or was it? That was Brett Willis, number 11. And he gets a yard up to the 27, makes it 3rd down and 3. This is the 2nd possession for the Berryhill Chieftains. Their first possession, they went backwards after recovering a Metro Christian punt. Had a 5-yard penalty, an offensive pass interference against them. Had a 3rd down pass fall incomplete and had to settle for a 4th down punt. This is Maston. He's got the first down across the 30 and close to the 40-yard line. Big run by Devin Maston.
Give him 12 yards on his 3rd carry of the game, and boy, he's the kind of player that looks like he just wants the football and take charge and take things over.
So they shake the collar on first downs. That is their first down, whereas Metro in their 80-yard touchdown drive had 4 first downs.
And it's important, too, for just a second, Berryhill to get a first down to keep their defense off of the football field and obviously keep Metro Christian from having the football.
Good point. Number 4, Brett Mull, who returned the kick, is the only wide receiver. 2 tight ends for Berryhill on 1st and 10 from the 39. They give the Maston a look at him pick his way upfield to the 44-yard line for about 5 yards.
Not much secret right now what Berryhill is trying to do. However they can get Maston the football.
Maston last year ran for 600 yards, and this year is closing in on that figure, coming into the game 133 yards for 566 yards. And he's close to that 600 mark with 20 seconds left, first period, 2nd and 5 from the 44. Man in motion is Warren. Top receiver, give to Maston off right side, hitting the backfield, and struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage. And that will take care of the opening period from Metro Stadium. When we come back, we'll have second period action for you between the home-standing Metro Christian Patriots and the Berryhill Chieftains. And we remind you, one of the reasons we do these games is to urge you to be drug-free. Third down 5 from the 44-yard line. And Norris is back to throw. Look out, it's intercepted inside the 45-yard line. Up the midfield goes Stephen Hayes. The 5'10", 145-pound senior has the first turnover on Berryhill in this game.
Boy, that was tough, too, because what a great play action there by Brian Norris. Really faked it well. The running back did an equally nice job of running it into the line, but apparently didn't fool anybody on Metro Christian's secondary because they were all over that football.
So it is 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line for Metro. The Patriots leading 7-0 and starting great field position. Graham is the I-back, gets the pitch.
Good pitch again.
To the 50. And inside Berryhill territory and dropped at the 38, and then a flag thrown at the point of the tackle. And I'm assuming, Jack, it's against Berryhill.
Yeah, they're going to tack on another 15 for a personal foul. Late hit out of bounds, and boy, that one's going to be a big penalty because now it's going to be a 25-yard gain. It'll go all the way down to the 23 of Berryhill.
That's a 15-yard run by Graham on first down. As Jack mentioned, tack on some more on the personal foul. Berryhill doesn't need to help the Patriots out here early in the second period.
They'll make that a 30-yard play in all.
So it moves it down to the Berryhill 28-yard line. Or it is for 23-yard line. Where it is first down. That's the 6th first down after that penalty for the Patriots. Berryhill with 1 first down and a timeout called by the Metro quarterback, Scott Seifert. Will take a timeout. We're early in the second period, and the Patriots with the ball and the lead.
Kids, I guess they don't know when it's freezing cold.
It is a little chilly in Tulsa in late October. 1st and 10 from the Berryhill 23, and Seifert wants to go deep.
He has a man.
Great catch. Touchdown, 33. Scotty Robertson with the touchdown grab, and that was picture perfect.
What a throw. He was the inside receiver on the far side of the field as they lined up. He ran about a 15 yards and then just slanted towards the corner of the end zone, and the ball perfectly thrown. At least he got out there, and a beautiful diving catch, making sure he stayed in bounds too. And just like that, 13-0 Metro.
Well, that will go down in the yearly highlights of the games we've done. That was a brilliant catch by Scott Robertson. He's a fine player. 6'4", 185-pound senior wide receiver, and Sean Foster adds the extra point. Now with 11:23 to go before halftime. The Patriots lead 14-0. That gives us a chance to look at the District 2A4 standings. And you see the importance of this game for both clubs. It's going to be a little difficult for either one of these teams to unseat those top two, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah. Cassia Hall and Haskell really playing great as the season is very far along at this point. Hard to believe how far the season has gone. Cassia Hall 7-0, Haskell 7-0, approaching the week, and Metro doing a great job. They just about put themselves in, I believe, with the win here, if they can hold on.
Once again, deep for the Chiefs, number 1 Terry Warren and 44 Maston, who is the game's leading rusher right now, 4 carries for 25 yards. It's a cold night, and this kick,
that's dangerous.
And that is fumbled, and look out. No signal. And now they do, and it belongs to Metro Christian. And Robertson, who caught the touchdown, gets the recovery, and look at Russell Hall and the Berryhill Chiefs. You can't believe his eyes.
The thing that you need to do, which is very hard because you certainly wouldn't expect a kick like that from a team that's ahead 14-0, but the thing to do is to call for a fair catch, because that way the defense or the kicking team can't hit you and therefore force a fumble like what we just saw.
You see Russell Hall, I think he is arguing the fact that the kid didn't have enough room to catch the ball, that he was hit before he caught it.
That's possible, although it looked to me like he got hit right after he got it, but still, and I'm not sure, unfortunately, about the rules to admit that I'm not sure in high school if you have to give him, say, 2-3 yards to have the football.
You do on a punt return, and I'm assuming you would on a kickoff return like that. And I'm not sure. My question is whether that was an intentional kick on the part of Sean Foster, or if it's actually so cold that he just didn't kick it very well. Nevertheless, Metro has their second turnover, and they're in great shape again, this time at the Berryhill 36. 11 minutes to go before halftime. They lead 14-0, and they're coming back for more. And Graham to the 35. Flag down, and Graham down at the 31-yard line after a 5-yard advancement.
And I think Stephen Hayes, number 15, got again caught for holding on the outside, because he's the guy trying to, indeed he did, as holding is the call, trying to get that extra few seconds for his running back, Dion, to get out there.
So that will be brought back. There's a look at the Metro cheerleaders. I can't understand in this kind of weather how cheerleaders can't wear anything on their legs. It's got to be cold, man.
I've noticed a couple of the cheerleading units around the city have gone to their own sweatpants that are colored just like their uniforms are,
right?
so that it doesn't look so bad, you know, so it looks nice. But boy, I feel sorry for Metro's cheerleaders tonight.
Penalty moves it back to the 42-yard line, where it is 1st and 15. We'll say the 41, actually. 5-yard penalty. 1st and 15. Seipert to throw. Over the middle. Intercepted. And Berryhill gets the ball right back on the interception from 36, Jeff Ewert. Or 26, I should say. That's Grant Stites, 5'9", 175, sophomore linebacker, and he gets the ball right back for the Chiefs, and that's a big play.
Seipert waited a little bit too long. He did have his receiver open, but good job by Berryhill of covering him up right away.
1st and 10, the ball at the 34-yard line for the Chieftains. So the Chieftains have the ball, 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Power I formation. Tight end Walker set to the left. Maston is the tailback. 11, Brent Willis, the fullback. This is Maston, looks for a block, and then gets a few yards from the 34 up to the 36 for a couple.
Tough work getting there up the middle against Metro's defense, especially that's the guy they're looking for. They're looking for Maston. Might not be a bad opportunity to try a little play action to Maston and put it up.
Yeah, I like that logic.
Of course, at the same time, they're probably a little weary of that because they've thrown an interception last time they had the football.
Both of these clubs doing very well this season and doing better than the people thought they would. As a flag goes down at the line of scrimmage, Maston goes down at the 42, and we'll see what this one is about. Berryhill was picked 7th in the district, and Metro Christian picked 5th. And yet both teams right now are doing very well. Metro is currently 3rd in the conference, and Berryhill is 4th, and this is a big game for both clubs. With the Patriots winning, this would put them in the playoffs. And for Beggs, they need a win to maintain their playoff hopes.
Boy, that's a costly penalty for Berryhill because they just keep making mistakes. They're playing pretty well each play they're playing well. They're making just too many mistakes.
Penalty of holding moves it back to the 29-yard line. And that makes it second and about 14. Back is Norris, throws to Walker, and he splits the defenders and gets across the 35 to the 36-yard line, brought out by 25 Craig Hayes and number 4 Scott Seipert.
That's the first completion, I believe, for Berryhill on the night that hasn't been called back for one reason or another.
7-yard gain makes it 3rd down 7 from the 36-yard line. Just under 9 minutes to go before halftime. Metro Christian leading 14-0. Drove 80 yards in 10 plays in their second possession and scored on 4th and goal from the 3. And then got a big 23-yard pass play after an interception to go ahead 14-0. This intercepted at the 45 of Berryhill to the 36-yard line of Berryhill. And another turnover for the Chieftains. And on the interception, credit one of the co-captains, senior Scott Adams.
Just overthrew his receiver a little bit, Norris did, and right there was Adams to pick things off and showed decent speed for a big guy getting out there and getting back to the 36.
Really did. Scott, a 5'9", 205-pound senior with the pick. That's the 3rd turnover in 4 possessions for Berryhill, and it's 1st and 10 with 8:15 to go before halftime. At the Berryhill 36-yard line, this is Graham to the 35, and that should be about it. Makes it 2nd down and long.
He's quick, and he really thought he was probably going somewhere then, but Berryhill's defense has done a pretty decent job here.
They really have.
So far, they've had their backs to the wall quite a bit of the time.
Metro, which last year was finally state sanctioned for the first time by the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association and qualified for the state playoffs in their first year. Here's Graham to the 35, 30. Boy, he shows some good speed as he darts to the 27-yard line. He's short of the 1st down by about a yard.
Good-looking play, and boy, Seipert really does a nice job on the option.
Yeah, he does. They'll set up 3rd and a long yard for the Patriots. As I mentioned, they made it to the state playoffs for the first time last year after winning 5 of their last 6 games, and then lost to Adair in the first round of the playoffs. Graham for the 1st down. He skips down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, and that's a 1st down. And the Patriots are on the march again midway 2nd period.
He made that look awfully easy, and now unofficially for the game, Metro over 100 yards rushing at 102.
7-yard gain, 1st down at the Berryhill 20-yard line. A look at the Patriot sideline under Peck Clark in his 3rd year, former assistant coach at the University of Tulsa, before coming here to Metro Christian, which used to be Mason High School, located at 63rd and Trenton off 61st in Peoria. Seipert, the throw. Oh, touchdown. Jason Bennett, number 7 with the catch, and it went right through the arms of one of the defenders.
Yeah, Brian Norris, the quarterback, who also plays defensive back for Berryhill, really thought he had the interception. Awfully cold. He probably never felt the ball, probably touched it. In for the touchdown, though, is Metro, and 20 to zip now.
The Patriots, who have never won a homecoming game, are in great shape with 6:25 to go. 2nd period. Sean Foster, one of the better kickers in the area, especially a punter, boots the extra point, and it is good. And with 6:25 to go 2nd period, right now it's all Metro Christian with the kickoff coming up.
Tough thing too for the quarterback now, Brian Norris, because he's very upset they didn't intercept that last pass that went in for a touchdown for Metro. Now he's got to put that behind him and say, okay, let's get the offense going now.
Try and engineer something for Berryhill's offense. which has only one first down of the game. First time they got the ball, they recovered a Seifert fumble, but then penalties moved them back and they had to punt. The next time they got the ball, trailing 7-0. They got a nice drive out from their 20 up to their 44, and then had a pass intercepted. Then they gave up another touchdown and then turned it over again.
Good blocking there.
Maston, nice move up to the 31-yard line. He got a great hole and gets 11.
And they're doing a real nice job of creating plays for Maston. There, the delay. Looked like they were going to pass it. Pick up 11.
Maston on the night now, 6 carries for 38 yards to lead all rushers with 6 minutes to go, second period. So Berryhill has been their own worst enemy thus far. And the last touchdown went right through the hands of the quarterback Norris, playing on defense. Up the middle they go to Brent Willis. And Brett, 5'6", 150 senior fullback, gets up to the 35-yard line. Brett Willis will get 4 yards, makes it second down and 6.
Pretty good idea. Get the ball to somebody else. Probably they'll go back to Norris again, but trying to mix up the plays as much as they can and also give the ball to the guy that they want to have the ball as much as possible, Devin Maston.
Another big district game in this district is being played on this Thursday evening. That is Cassia Hall and Haskell, and they're playing over at Cassia Stadium tonight. Blitz is on. Norris gets it away and fires complete. Is it enough for a first down on second down? Apparently not quite enough, and Rusty Walker with the nice catch, and the tight end now has 2 grabs on the night. And that will be probably, well, they'll say, first down. They gave him his forward progress.
Rusty Walker, nice job there because he saw his quarterback was in trouble and he came back for the ball. And that was the difference, because if he would have stayed where he was, the quarterback throws it, that one would have been intercepted.
Norris did a nice job. He got pressured, stayed in the pocket, and fired to Walker, who got just enough for the first down, up to the 41-yard line. Give to Maston. Ahead of Willis. Willis makes a nice block out of the fullback position, and Maston creeps up to the 45-yard line for 4 yards.
Maston's going to be a tired horse at halftime.
He is, isn't he?
Already he's carried the ball 8 times and been 8 hard carries pretty much.
Averaging 4 yards a carry on the season. And it's right at that now. Second down 6 from the 45-yard line. Good field position again for Berryhill. 4 minutes to go. Second period. Norris looks like he wants to go deep. Now he just looks for anybody and fires for Terry Warren. Caught at the line of scrimmage and then dropped at the 46-yard line. So actually he'll lose about a yard.
Again, a pretty good play nonetheless by his wide receivers to come back for the football. Something that well-coached teams do. You have to come back, especially when your quarterback's in trouble. I think there was some kind of a mix-up on who was running what pass pattern there anyway, because 2 of the receivers looked at kind of bumped into each other about 15 yards down the field and realized somebody's in the wrong place.
They actually gave him his forward progress, so no gain. It's third down 6. And a draw play to Master. Breaks a tackle, gets the first down, and is upended inside Metro territory after Jason Bennett upends him. But it's enough for a first down for Devin Maston from his 46 to the Metro 46. And that is good for 8 yards.
Good run by him, and nice job by that offensive line again. They're going to that right side quite a bit. Something that surprised me a little bit, too, at this point. Metro's ahead 21-0, and I figured they're a little bit bigger. Things might start wearing down, but the offensive line, at least still here in the second period, doing a good job for Berryhill.
Would agree. First down, they throw. It is knocked down and almost intercepted by Scott Robertson, 33. Had his hands all over it at the Metro 25-yard line.
That was one of those the quarterback just wanted back as soon as he let go of that. Feels like hunting season.
It feels like we're in Canada. I was joking with the TU running back Mark Bruce the other day at practice. This has to be his kind of weather. And TU with a big game this weekend against Louisville. Skelly Stadium supposed to warm up, though, during the weekend. Second down 10 from the Metro 46-yard line. 3 minutes to go before halftime. Misdirection, counterplay, Warren 40, 35, first down. And nice work, nice play calling by the Berryhill Chieftains and their head coach Russell Hall, who's assisted by Dodds Terrell, James Mills, Max Caldwell, and Ed Hamilton.
They really have done an excellent job here of calling plays to try to help their offense along, and the players have responded.
Down to the MCA 35-yard line. That is the 5th first down of the game and the 4th first down in this drive, just inside the Patriot 35-yard line, first down. Still plenty of time for the Chiefs to put something on the board. Norris fires. Did he catch it? Walker at the 25, and apparently not.
The only thing the offensive line hasn't been able to do is really give much pass protection for their quarterback. He doesn't have long back there to figure out who's going to throw the football to.
Bringing in a play is Brett Mull, number 4. You see him there. Everybody in white long-sleeve shirts underneath are blue, and Mull, the wide receiver, number 4 at the bottom of your screen, the gold undershirt. Reverse.
Good blocking by 55 there on the line.
Warren slips a tackle and another. Oh, he gets stood up and dropped at the 27-yard line, but after all of that, nice running of 9 yards for Terry Warren. I'm impressed with him, 5'6", 145-pound junior, and he had a great game against Liberty in the season opener, had a 28-yard touchdown catch.
The guy, Kelly Vance, I was talking about, number 55, 5'10", 215-pound center, sophomore, doing a nice job.
3rd down and a yard with 2 minutes to go before halftime. Big play for the Berryhill offense, and they're going to pass on 3rd and 1. Norris throws incomplete. Too much for Warren to handle on that one. That one into the dirt at his feet, and it'll bring up 4th and 1. They're going to have to go for it, I'm sure, as the clock has stopped, 1:54 to go.
The only mistake Warren made was he wasn't going to go anywhere with the football anyway. He might as well have gone all the way down to try to make the catch. Probably couldn't have anyway.
So Norris brings the Chiefs out, 4th and a long yard. Option. They pitch it. Maston wants a block, doesn't get it. Dropped at the 26-yard line. No gain. And Metro holds and takes over with 1:46 to go. And that's got to be very disheartening for the Berryhill offense to drive from their 20 down to the MCA 26-yard line.
Boy, they really did everything right on that drive, too, except for the final play, I guess. Of course, 4th downs are awfully hard to come by, but really an excellent drive by Berryhill, and disheartening not to get some points on the scoreboard, because now they'll go down at least 21-0.
Minute and a half to go before halftime. It's homecoming here at Metro Christian, and we'll show you some of the homecoming festivities as Hayes goes up the middle, and Craig Hayes advances the ball from the 26 to the 29 for 3 yards. Makes it 2nd down and short 7. One of 2 games this week. Their other game being a Class 4A meeting between Webster and Claremore. Warriors and the Zebras from Claremore. Next week, 2 games with teams we haven't seen. Bishop Kelly against Edison, and then 2 teams we have seen in a big game, Jinx against Union. Here Seipert goes upstairs and caught, but out of bounds is Stephen Hayes, number 15. Sets up 3rd down 7 and stops the clock with 42 seconds to go before halftime.
Metro certainly showing they're not satisfied with what's happened so far, and there's an eerie shot of, gives you a little shiver down your spine.
Yes, it does. It's duck hunting weather.
Kind of looks like a Christmas Carol by Dickens.
And can you believe they say it's going to get up to 80s by the 1st of next week? That's Oklahoma for you. 3rd down. This is Graham. He'll lose some yardage. Loses about a yard. Makes it 4th down. And just like that, Berryhill defense gives Metro nothing. They call timeout with 32 seconds to go and maybe hope to block this punt. Yeah, I guess, Jack, with the weather we've had up through this point of the year, we can't complain about how cold it is, especially if it's going to get warm again. Foster to punt. They do go after him. They knock him down, but it's apparently an acting job by Foster. No flag down as Foster goes down, and the punt is down at the 31-yard line with 21 seconds to go, second period.
Good job by Foster, because a punt that now Berryhill's got to go 69 yards to try and score, and there isn't very much time to do that. They were hoping to block the punt or maybe, you know, get some kind of decent field position pressure Sean enough that he got off a bad punt, maybe get the ball at midfield and, you know, maybe get a field goal out of this before half, but now they got a long ways to go.
Show you how good Foster is. That was a 41-yard kick. Didn't even seem like it. Berryhill, one play left as the clock is down to 5 seconds. Norris gets it away to Walker. Caught down at the 43, and that takes care of the first half here from Metro Stadium. When we come back, we'll have halftime activities for you as high school football continues on Tulsa Cable, who urges you to be drug-free. Is the educated play in which he ran 20 yards, and then in the second period they got an interception and drove 53 yards in 2 plays. A big 23-yard pass play, added another touchdown pass. They lead 21-0, start the third period. This is Maston, the game's leading rusher, to the 20, to the 26-yard line, and dropped there.
Nice job of cutting back and getting as many yards as he could. Got to the 26, and again, I hate to harp on the weather, but it'll be interesting to see how teams do respond after about a 25-minute halftime for homecoming to see how they come out, see if they can get loose again.
Congratulations to Miss Stacy Brown, who is the homecoming queen here at Metro Christian Academy. 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. You see Brian Norris trying to get some circulation going in that body after, as Jack mentioned, a long halftime sit. And the runner gets about a yard. That is Maston, who is the game's leading rusher. M-A-S-T-I-N from the 26 up to the 27. Makes it second down and 9. And in the game, Maston 10 carries now for 51 yards.
Berryhill really did a good job there on their next to the last drive of mixing things up. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't come up with a 4th and 1 play and get the first down and get some points on the board, but we'll see if they can come up with something good here on 2nd and long.
From the 27, Norris has time, fires, off his shoulder pads and incomplete, hitting right in the numbers. And Rusty Walker, who has 4 catches, in fact has caught all 4 of the quarterback's passes, couldn't hang on to that one. In the game, the Berryhill quarterback, Norris, is now 4 of 11 with 2 interceptions. Sets up 3rd down and 9 from the 27. As I mentioned, the tight end Walker has caught all 4 passes for 25 yards. 3rd down and 9. Throw that time to the line of scrimmage is Walker, and he is dropped immediately by Craig Hayes, 25, and Scott Seipert, number 4, out of the secondary. So it'll be 4th down, and we'll have our second punt of the game in Berryhill's first possession of the game. Darren Thompson's punt went 36 yards, and that's the game's only punt thus far.
Well, you could tell on that series of downs just how tough it is for Berryhill to get anything going. You complete a pass, you get no yards. 1 running play for a yard, and 4th and 9, you got to kick it.
There's the kick, and it is blocked by Hayes. And Thompson tries to pick it up, can't do it, rolls out of bounds, and it'll be Metro's ball inside the Berryhill 20-yard line.
That was a case, too, where Craig Hayes just did the job all by himself. He never got blocked at all. The snap back to the punter was a little bit of a lollipop, if you will, lob-type snap. Gave the defensive team just too much time to get back there, but also nobody got a hand on Hayes.
Ball marked at the 17-yard line of Berryhill. Just under 10 minutes to go, 3rd period. Option play, Graham to the 15. Slices through and scores. Dion Graham. A nifty 17-yard run on the first play of scrimmage for the Patriots in the second half.
And it didn't take them long at all, did it? His 5th carry of the game goes all the way in for the touchdown, and a great block that time by Stephen Hayes, who got called for holding a couple of times in the first half, being watched very closely by the official. Didn't do it that time and sprung Dion into the end zone.
Graham now 6 carries, 47 yards. There's the extra point Seipert holds, and that kick is blocked as Foster falls down, and credit, I think it was 86, Rusty Walker. With the blocker number 80, it appears now, Brent Snyder, 5'9", 150 senior. Nevertheless, the kick is blocked, but with 9:50 to go in the third period, it's all Patriots here in their homecoming. Settles are into the end zone, and you can see why Foster is one of the better kickers in the city of Tulsa. In fact, last year, Foster, I believe, was honorable mention as a kicker on the Tulsa Tribune All-City team, and was all-Metro baseball player on the Tulsa Tribune All-City team as a designated hitter. Some fine players that come out of Metro Christian, haven't there? Richard Wales at TU. And Louisville brings 3 players with them that played here.
Yeah, Eric Watts, 3rd-string quarterback.
This first down play goes off to Maston. And Maston from the 20 up to the 24 for 4. Yeah, they bring in Eric Watts, who's quarterback here. Ron Bell, who is the Louisville kicker. And Jerry Crafts, who is a starting offensive tackle, played here at Metro Christian.
Yeah, Bell's done a good job on those extra points. I believe he's 13 for 13 on the season.
Is that right?
Field goals, he's only about 50%. He's tried quite a few long ones.
2nd and 6 from the 24. Speaking of long ones, Berryhill could use a long play. Not this time. Maston again. From the 24 up to the 26 for 2, and sets up 3rd down and 4 for the Chieftains. Look at some of the other players that have played here. Metro's for another former quarterback besides Watts, Jeff Green, who had a good year last year, graduated at Northeastern State last year in Tahlequah.
We saw just a moment ago a rather dense fog starting to hover well over the field. Probably won't affect the game, but maybe driving home later.
Got a flag down. That's probably against the Chiefs. We'll see the referee call. Delay. Oh, it's against Metro. And gives the Chiefs a first down. And that is their 6th first down of the game. Speaking of former players, Berryhill, as a former player, playing in Oklahoma State. We'll talk about after this first down play from the 31-yard line. Up the middle, Maston, he's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. And not much going on that time. And getting up out of the pack is 76, Dan Llewellyn, 5'9", 160-pound junior. Gains a foot. We'll say no gain. 2nd down, 10 from the 31. Berryhill has a walk-on quarterback at Oklahoma State this year, Eric Stadham. And he had the pleasure of drawing Barry Sanders' old number 21. And Eric took a lot of heat from that when the preseason practices started. Norris throws through the arms of number 1, Terry Warren. That would have been for a first down. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10 yards needed to maintain custody of the ball.
The one thing that makes it tough to throw to Warren, he's got great speed, good quickness if he can catch it, but he's not very tall, 5'6", 145 pounds. And on that particular pass pattern, if he'd been 6 feet, he probably would have had it.
Yeah. Looking here at Berryhill's record, 4-3 on the season, 2-2 in district play. They've been shut out once this year, and that was at home against Haskell, 35-0. We mentioned they're 4-0 on the road, and that pass incomplete by Norris on the far side brings up 4th down, and another punting situation for the Chiefs. And Darren Thompson comes in. Thompson, number 82, the senior. First punt was 36 yards early in the game, and then here early in the third period, his last punt was blocked, and that set up the last touchdown by Metro, and they lead in this ballgame 27-0. Now midway third period. This time Thompson gets away a boomer. Caught by Bennett, dropped, and he falls on it inside his 40 at the 39-yard line. 31-yard punt by Thompson, and the Patriots will set up in pretty good field position at the 38-yard line.
The last punt, number 25, Craig Hayes was able to block, and this time everybody on Berryhill got a piece of him just to make sure they weren't the ones to let him slip by.
We mentioned this is a big district game for both teams. Metro can clinch a playoff berth with a win. Berryhill needs a win to maintain their playoff hopes. A pitch to Graham, midfield, and run out of bounds. And they'll mark it at the 47-yard line or thereabouts, and a nice run by Dion Graham of around 18 yards.
Boy, what a great play by the quarterback again, Scott Seipert. He took two defenders on again, and it's tough to stop the option when a quarterback does that good of a job of making you come and get him.
Exactly right. Down at the Berryhill 43 after a 19-yard run by Graham out of the I formation. Craig Hayes, the fullback. They give to the tailback again, Graham, or this is John Webb, and we've got a flag down at the point of tackle.
And it's probably going to be an offensive holding penalty, and in fact, that's what the quarterbacks for Metro Christian, Scott Seipert, signaling his sideline that's what he figures it is.
Gain of about 1.5 yards. It'll be brought back.
Seipert impresses me as one of those high school quarterbacks that are hard to find of how heady he is of a ball player. He goes up to the line of scrimmage. In fact, the second touchdown they had in the football game, the first one that he threw, he was right away able to tell who he wanted to throw the football to, that he had a man in man-to-man coverage, and that's the guy he was going to go to, figuring he'd be open, and he was.
First and 20 from the 47. Here he throws, and just out of the reach of Stephen Hayes. A nice defense by number 10, Brian Norris. He made Hayes pay the price.
And Hayes will go back to Seipert and ask him to throw it a lot lower next time.
Yeah, Seipert is a good-looking quarterback. Has had some good games this year. Against Beggs earlier, 26 carries, 107 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns, in which they beat Beggs 10-7 last week. Or I beg your pardon, they beat Beggs 2 weeks ago, 20-14. Berryhill won at Beggs last week, 10-7. Second and 20. Option to Graham. Has to wait on the pitch a bit and gets dropped by Rusty Walker.
Good defense there by Berryhill. They smothered everybody immediately that time.
Loss of 1 yard makes it 3rd down and 21 from their own 46-yard line. Seipert follows a fine list of quarterbacks here at Metro Christian. Mentioned Eric Watts and Jeff Green, who played at Northeastern State. Brett Bullison last year. Burleson was a fine quarterback here for MCA. As we mentioned, Metro got off to an 0-4 start last year and rallied back to win 5 of their last 6 games, go 5-5 in the regular season, and get into the state playoffs, only to lose to Adair. Here is Scott Robertson at the 20. He goes for his second touchdown and scores.
Boy, you talk about being open. Nice job on his part. He cut it to the inside or to his right and then went back left. The defender, Terry Warren, slipped just a little bit, and that's all he needed. He goes the distance for the touchdown.
54-yard touchdown pass and run from the quarterback, Seipert, to Scott Robertson, who has now caught 2 beautiful touchdowns. One was a diving 23-yard catch in the end zone, and this one, a 46-yard combination. And Sean Foster coming on to add the extra point.
And they'll fake it since they missed one of their extra points.
Robertson is in. Robertson in for the 2-point conversion, and he is one of the candidates for our player of the game. We'll tell you about what that means when high school football continues from Metro Stadium. From each school, we'll give $100 check. Tulsa Cable will. It doesn't come out of my pocket, fortunately, but that kick goes into the end zone. Set up at the 20. $100 check for each school for their general fund from Tulsa Cable, and then we will give each school a plaque for their trophy case and honor their player of the game, as well as the players of the game will respectively receive a plaque of their own use, and those plaques courtesy of All-American Trophy.
Sean Foster, the kicker for Metro Christian's, making Berryhill players look like they're playing outfield against the Oakland A's or something, watching home runs off Jose Canseco and McGuire.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Berryhill to Maston. Oh, he has really had some room, and he gets up to the 30-yard line, and that should be enough for a first down. Devin Maston has to be one of our candidates for the Berryhill side for player of the game as he rambles for 10 yards and gets the 7th first down of the night for Berryhill.
He really has done it all.
That's his 5th carry in this quarter, and now has 14 carries for 67 yards. 1st and 10 from the 30 for Norris. Option to Maston. Gets the block. 35, 40, and upended at the 44-yard line, saving a possible touchdown for the Patriots was number 7, Jason Bennett. Jason's a fine athlete, 6'3", 170-pound free safety. He's a sophomore. Was an outstanding player on the basketball team last year as a freshman.
Boy, Maston's really done a great job last 2 carries, 24 yards total, 10 and then 14, and he's getting some good blocking.
From the 44-yard line, delay to Maston, and not bad that time for 5 yards up to the 49-yard line. And the clock continues to run. 4:44 to go, and look out, laundry all over the place now after the play, and probably a personal foul against one of the clubs. Dead ball foul against Metro. So that will even help the Chiefs even more, give them another first down, which will be their 9th and their 3rd in this drive, and put them inside Metro territory. The only time that they have had any chance of scoring, as Jack mentioned earlier, they got down to the Metro 26-yard line and went for it on 4th and 1 and could not get the first down. That was late in the 2nd period. Now they're at the 35-yard line or so, and look out.
Fumbled snap there, and that really hurts because now you got 2nd and about 14 to go.
Move it back at the 40. Ball was at the 36. Then on the fumble by the quarterback, makes it 2nd down 14 from the Metro Christian 40-yard line. And Rusty Walker was the deep man and couldn't come up with it with 4 minutes to go, 3rd period. Been a tough night for the Berryhill quarterback.
Tough there because Brett Mole, number 4, again, high over the middle. It's not the kind of pass you want to go jumping up for because number 1, that was high enough. He may not have gotten it anyway, and if he had jumped up, he would have gotten smeared.
Boy, it's tough enough throwing the ball. It's got to be awfully tough trying to catch it. You just have to cradle the thing in because your hands have to be too cold to really get any feel for the ball. And you see that receiver doing that, number 80, Brent Snyder, just cradles it in. A 5'9", 150-pound split end. Makes the catch, and the senior gets from the 40 down to the 27-yard line, and that's not enough for a first down. It'll bring up 4th down and about 2.
Tough call again. Last time they went to Maston, and he's the guy you want to have the football, but he's also the guy that everybody on Metro Christian's going to expect to have the football. It might not be a bad idea to play action to him and just hope somebody gets open.
Or number 1, Terry Warren has had a couple of reverses in this game, 2 of them for 20 yards. He's in the slot to the left. Instead, they go option. Maston looks like he's got it, does, and more. 30, or rather to the 20, and down to the 16-yard line, and that's a first down for the Berryhill Chieftains. And Devin Maston goes from the 28 down to the 16 for a dozen.
Boy, he just wasn't going to be denied there. It was a good enough call and good enough blocking that he was going to get the first down, but about the last 8 yards of that was all on his own.
Now 17 carries for 98 yards for Devin Maston. This is the deepest penetration for Berryhill with 3:20 to go.
And Maston again picks up about 6.
Down to the 10-yard line. Now that's about right, maybe the 11. Second down, about 5 from the 11-yard line. High formation, Willis the fullback. Play action pass, man open in the end zone.
Good
Did
catch.
he catch it?
Good catch. Excellent catch in the end zone, and the referee on the far side says yes, indeed, he had it. He did a nice job of keeping the ball. And they're going to reverse it because he had caught that football, no question about it, as he came over.
One official, which did not have the best angle in it, said he did catch it. His back was, or Walker's back was between the official and the ball. That official on the far side said yes, he caught it. The official to the near side, who might have had a little better angle at it, said no, he did not. I'm with Jack. It looked like he caught it from here. Third down 5, nevertheless. Option, pitch, look out, trouble. And Metro falls on it back at the 20-yard line. And Berryhill, they've been their own worst enemy in this game, and they'll come up with a 4th down and long from the Patriot 20-yard line.
Boy, instead of having 7 points up on that board, which would be a great confidence booster for them heading into the rest of the season, instead of that, now they got forever to go.
Got some work cut out for them just outside the 20-yard line with 2:19 to go in the third period. They've got to go for it. 4th and a bundle. 4th and 14. Norris slips by the defender, throws 2 men there, knocked away, incomplete. Nice work by 34 for the Patriot secondary, Wade Clark. Clark's just a freshman. He made a fine play as he knocked the pass down, and Metro has the ball back. With 2:05 to go, third period. Tough break for Berryhill there, Jack.
Well, it really has been. They had 4th and 1 again in the first half, weren't able to come up with that, and then the play, which looked like it was a touchdown, looked like the receiver had bobbled the ball, yeah, but he was able to keep the ball on top of him rather than under him for what should have been a touchdown, but doesn't count in any case, and here goes Metro running back it again. Lean
Dion Graham, stopped by Brent Willis, or he might have scored on that one from the 21-yard line. Graham bolts to the 31 for 10 yards, and indeed a first down for the Patriots. That is their 9th first down of the game. And Graham is racking up some numbers with 1:50 to go in the third period. Ooh, that time nothing doing. That looked like might have been Webb. We'll check it. They're going to mark him for a yard loss back at the 30-yard line, and it was John Webb, 23, 5'9", 150-pound senior. Makes it second down and 11 from the 30-yard line. Graham has had a big game for Metro. 8 carries for 58 yards. Option. Walker. And the freshman gets up to the 36-yard line. Wade Clark is the ball carrier. He just batted down the pass moments ago, and he gets from the 30 up to about the 35. We'll say 5 yards, makes it third down and 6. There's a look at Rusty Walker, who's shaken up and trots off under his own power. Too cold to get hurt tonight, Jack.
Boy, it is. Don't need any ice, though, is the good news, I suppose.
Just lay down on the ground. 3rd and 6 from the 35-yard line for the quarterback and a new quarterback, Sean Foster.
And I think Metro was able to come up with it, though.
Nevertheless, it'll be 4th down, and Foster will drop back to punt, and this will be Metro's first punt of the game.
Good recovery there by number 68, Scott Adams. And he's been around there. He got an interception in the first half for the Patriots and comes up with, you know, at least if this were a closer ball game, what would be a key fumble recovery?
Foster, honorable mention as a punter last year on the Tulsa Tribune All-City team. He punts this one, hits at the 35 to the 30, and dropped and down at the 27-yard line. And that takes care of the 3rd period here from Metro Stadium. We're coming back for 4th and final action as homecoming continues from Metro Christian Academy on Tulsa Cable, who urges you to be drug-free. Here in the 4th period, as Maston gets about a yard, maybe 2 for generous. It'll be 2nd down and long, and Maston right now in the ball game. That's his 19th carry of the game for 104 yards.
He has really done a great job, considering Metro Christian's got to know that he's going to get the ball just about every time when they're looking for him.
Russell Hall in his 2nd year, even though Berryhill looks like they're going to lose this one, they still have a chance at the playoffs, and Terry Warren has been very effective on those wing-back counter plays, and Warren advances the ball 13 yards for a 1st down up to the 41-yard line. And for Terry Warren, he brings up Berryhill's 11th 1st down of the game. Berryhill next week hosting Cassia Hall. Ooh, that would not be fun. And then they close the season at home against Shoto. Shoto hasn't won a game yet this year, so you'd have to think that Berryhill will indeed look at their 5th win on the season, their last week of the season against Shoto, and that might just put the Chieftains into the playoffs. As Maston again up to the 44.
Good job by Berryhill, too. You can tell their players not exactly as excited as when the game started, but at the same time, they're certainly not quitting.
Up to the 50-yard line. New running back in there. Or that is Warren, I should say. Up to the 50-yard line. 6 yards, makes it 3rd down and 1 from midfield. I was looking, I did not catch the last play. I was looking here. Westville is 2-2 in district play, so they're battling Berryhill for that 4th and final playoff spot. I'm trying to find out where Westville is playing. They're at Beggs this week, and Beggs is 1-3 in the district, so that's a big game. It's Maston to the 45, 1st down to the 40.
Oh, nice tackle.
And bulldogged out of bounds at the 36-yard line by 23, John Webb.
Webb did a real nice job of keeping the blocker away from him. Number 34, Shannon Bryant, shed the blocker and then made the tackle. Real nice job.
14-yard gain for Maston. Now 21 carries for 121 yards. To the Metro 36-yard line. Clock stopped with 9:51 to go in the game.
Not to destroy the suspense, but I don't think there's much choice on Berryhill who the player of the game is.
Look at the holes opening up for him, and look at him just run right ahead and try and bury the tackler Webb, who brings him down again, this time at the Patriot 25-yard line, and that's 11 yards.
He's just ripping him. Keep in mind, Metro's a good defensive team. As is obvious, they haven't given up any points today, and they know who's getting the football. And the offensive line doing a nice job, and Maston finding the holes.
A lot of second-teamers in the Metro defense right now with 9.5 minutes to go, as there was on offense in their last possession. 1st down from the Metro 25-yard line, homecoming, as Norris goes back to pass and throws for Warren, incomplete inside the 10. And that was one of the few times, Jack, that he had a open receiver.
Probably got a little bit over anxious, saw a guy was actually open, and led him a little bit too much.
Peck Clark and the Metro Christian Academy Patriots will clinch a playoff spot here with a win. They finish off the season at Haskell next week. Haskell, very tough, state ranked, and then at Sperry. So they close out their home season here with a win over Berryhill's. Maston drives inside the 35, inside the 25 on 2nd and 10. And Devin Maston gets to the 23, we'll say, and brings up 3rd down. 8 yards needed to maintain this possession. Maston now 23 carries, 134 yards. There's a look at the Berryhill cheerleaders. Berryhill with an enrollment of 210 in their high school. Here's a reverse or counter to Warren inside the 20. Gets tripped up. Dropped at the 19 for about 4 yards, and that will bring up, well, they mark it now at the 18 for 5 and brings up 4th down and 3. And this is where Berryhill, one of the reasons they've lost the game tonight. Second period, they were down 21-0 at a 4th and 1 at the Metro 26 and couldn't get the first down. In the third period, earlier, they had a 4th down play and couldn't convert. And here they are again, 4th and 3 from the Metro 18. And apparently they've drawn Metro off sides. We'll see. Might have been movement on the offensive line. Procedure, which never seen procedure on the defense before, but nevertheless, 5-yard penalty gives the Chieftains their 14th first down of the game. First down inside the Metro 15 to the 13. Maston, it's only fair that he get the call down to the 6-yard line. Brings up 2nd and 3 from the Metro 7. 2nd and 4, I guess. Maston now 24 carries, 140 yards. That is impressive. 7.5 minutes to go in the game. It's been all Metro. They led 7-0 after 1, 21-0 after 2, 35-0 after 3.
There he is. Warren will score.
Terry Warren with the touchdown from 6 yards out, or 7 yards out, and Berryhill's on the board.
It is really interesting when you think about it. Berryhill was able to capitalize on a 4th down play on that series of downs, but they have had a lot more plays in this football game than Metro, and yet they're down 35-6, maybe 7.
Good point. Extra point attempt coming from Darren Thompson, who's had trouble on occasions with the extra points. That one is good, however. With 7:14 to go in the game, we're coming back with the kickoff. The Patriots lead this one 35-7.
Direct from Hollywood.
Opportunity to take the ball there and did so. And Deion Graham up to the 40-yard line, makes it 2nd down 7. Graham in the game is the leading carrier for Metro. See what he has done here. 9 carries for 68 yards, or 61. 9 carries, 61 yards.
An interesting development as Sean Foster gets to quarterback the team. Been doing the job punting and kicking, so see if he can quarterback him.
Yeah. Foster is a 6'1", 180 junior. Plays quarterback, backs up at tight end, and plays linebacker, and kicks, as you mentioned, and pitches back to Webb, who does a nice job at catching it, and then advances it for a first down. And he might be off to the races, and is dropped inside the 25-yard line, and the flag goes down.
Yep, make it half the distance to the goal after they mark wherever he happened to go out of bounds. I think about 25-26. Great run, because like you said, he caught a pitch that was up around his left shoulder pad and smacked him upside the left side of his helmet. And he just took it and went off for the races and might have been able to score it, but he didn't think he could outrun number 85, Shane Marshall, who had a little bit of the angle on him. So he slowed up and was hoping to cut back inside.
Webb, a 34-yard run. He apparently stepped out at the 26 and they kept pushing him forward, out of bounds down to the 20, and then a personal foul marked off here against Berryhill, and that puts the ball down at the 13-yard line. So it's a first down at the Berryhill 13 with 6:16 to go. And number 18, Sean Fox. And he gets inside the 10 down to the 8 for 5 yards.
What's interesting about Metro Christian is that they are playing a lot of second-team players, but then again, they've only got around 30 players on their roster, so they're not necessarily all that deep. They're not going to be able to play a full second-string unit on both sides of the ball.
2nd and 5 from the Berryhill 8-yard line. Dion Graham stopped for no gain, maybe a yard. That's about it. Nice defense there by Berryhill. Well, it was nice to come to the game tonight, Jack, and not have to worry about whether the press box is going to crumble or earthquakes or anything like that. Just cold weather, and we'll put up with that cold weather as compared to what went on in San Francisco this week. That was quite a tragedy.
It certainly was, and it's going to be a tragedy, unfortunately, for several weeks to come.
Yeah. 3rd and 4 from the Chieftain 7-yard line. Graham, or this is John Webb, and look at the hard running by Webb inside the 5 down to the 2-yard line. That might be enough for a first down.
Well, he could definitely smell the end zone. He saw the flag on the corner, and he was doing all he could to try to get in there.
You see him pumped up. He liked his run, as well as the Patriot teammates on the sideline, and it's got to be a lot colder for Berryhill in this ball game as it is for Metro Christian. It was indeed enough for a first down. 1st and goal from the 2. Foster down under. Option. Look out. Clark gets it and then is dropped outside the 5 to about the 7. So after Webb picked up 5, they lose that 5 back. And it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the Berryhill 7. Well, now they mark it at the 4-yard line. And Foster is going to be nailed way back at the 15-yard line. And a personal foul again on Berryhill, as number 11, Brett Willis, piled on at the end of the play back at the 15-yard line. And that brings back visions of Corey Mayfield and what happened to him in Dallas last week for the Sooners at the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, costly mistakes by Berryhill and the Sooners last week. And frustrating here for the Chiefs just because, you're behind, and those things happen a lot more when you're behind.
Back at the 15, and then half the distance to the goal to the 7. It'll still make it 3rd down, however. 3rd and goal in Berryhill 7. So they lost 8 on the sack and then got 8 on the penalty. 3rd and goal for the Patriots, leading 35-7 and knocking on the door for more with 4 minutes to go in the game. They go up the middle to Webb. Look at that hard running. Down inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. Webb advances the ball 4 yards and brings up 4th and goal from the Berryhill 3. Looking at Metro this season, they did score 35 points this year earlier, and they shut out Webster at Milton Stadium 35-0. So they're trying to top that as far as the most points for Metro. Metro had trouble scoring points last year. Last year they were shut out in their first 4 games of the season, dropping 0-4 and then coming back to win 4 in a row. 5 of the last 6. 4th down play, and they are dropped inside the 10 back at the 8-yard line. Is Wade Clark. And a nice defensive stand by Berryhill, and the Chieftains get the ball right back. 1st and 10 at about the 10-yard line with 3 minutes to go in the game. Or is that 4th? This will be 4th and go. I beg your pardon.
For some reason, when they'd called that personal foul penalty, I thought the play would stand and have the personal foul, but they went back and said it was just 2nd down at that time, and so now it's 4.
All right, thank you.
I don't know exactly why, but
Well, we'll see if they get it this time. They throw incomplete. Foster intended for Stephen Hayes, who wanted a defensive holding call.
And there is nothing called on the play, so Berryhill will take over.
So now, 1st and 10 at the 10 with 2:34 to go in the game, and here come the Chieftains, trailing 35-7 thanks to Terry Warren's recent 7-yard run, which the Chiefs in the 4th quarter drove 73 yards in 11 plays. 4-minute, 46-second drive. And Norris is still quarterbacking the Chiefs.
Good misdirection play there.
A fine run by Warren, and he's dropped out at the 20, 23-yard line, and a flag comes flying into the play as Warren is hurt on the tackle. I think it might have been a face mask, because one of the tacklers grabbed him around the head.
He was definitely tackled by the face. In fact, I'm sure face mask is going to be the call, but it looked more almost like maybe he was tackled by the face rather than the face mask. Looked like somebody's hand may have actually been inside his face mask.
So the ball, which was at the 23, and now they move it up 15 yards further. Actually, the 20 is at the 22 for 12 yards and a first down, and then a penalty against Metro. Gives another first down to Berryhill. 1st and 10 then, out of the 37-yard line. A lot of first downs in this game. And play action pass complete to number 80 Snyder, who then loses the ball. And it is number 68 against Scott Adams, who stripped the ball and then recovered the fumble. How about that?
Boy, he has just been everywhere. A nice play on his part, the reception made, and he just, when you talk about stripping a football, that's exactly what they're talking about. Just took the football away and fell on it. And now Metro, with 2 minutes and counting down, they can just go ahead and milk the clock, and this one will be history.
Another turnover, and that has really hurt the Chiefs here in this one at the Berryhill 47-yard line. They had 3 first-half turnovers, and this pitch is trouble and is recovered by Graham.
Boy, and Graham really paid for that. He recovered it and then got just destroyed by 3 players who pounced on him.
As we mentioned, at the end of this game, we'll have players of the game, and as Jack mentioned, it's going to be very difficult to decide who will get that award for Metro Christian here at homecoming. 2nd and a dozen from their own, or from Berryhill's 49-yard line. And Foster back to pass. Rifles it over the middle for Stephen Hayes, and he caught it inside the 40-yard line. The Berryhill 39 for 10 yards. Makes it 3rd and 2. Next week, 2 more games. Of course, we have another game this week, Webster and Claremore, if you're watching this on Saturday. And if so, you are welcome to watch 2 games on Sunday, beginning at noon, starting with Webster and Claremore, and then this ball game, and 2 games next week. Bishop Kelly against Edison. That's a big 4A game for a possible playoff berth. And then Jinx and Union, which could be for the district championship.
Another flag down on the incomplete pass. Probably be an offensive holding with just 28 ticks left on the clock.
So while we dissect the penalty, let's remind you of something coming up next week, the Tulsa Run. Hope you'll join Tulsa Cable for the times you see there to watch the Tulsa Run. It's hard to believe that it's just around the corner. Let's hope the weather is a little warmer than it is right now. Ball close to midfield, just inside Berryhill territory. Oh, Foster's going to put it up. Incomplete, intended for Stephen Hayes. That stops the clock with 22 seconds left. And makes it 4th down and 12. Well, we spoke of some former Metro Christian players that have played here. I guess another guy comes to mind is Stan Fields, who also played at TU and is now in the administration here at Metro Christian under Peck Clark's football squad. Peck, a former TU assistant in his 3rd year here at Metro Christian, and will now go to 15-14 as head coach with a win as Foster booms this one at the 10-yard line, and it just dies at the 11-yard line, or 12, with 12 seconds left. It's a 37-yard punt for Sean Foster. There's a look at the clock. 10 seconds left now. And they'll start the clock once the chains are set. And that will take care of this one from Metro Stadium, where the Patriots win homecoming and do it in fine fashion, winning this one 35-7. Maston with the ball, and that takes care of this ball game. They'll let that play stand as he got from the 12 up to the 15, and Jack and I are coming back to wrap this one up in just a minute. Over Berryhill, the Patriots now 6-2 on the year and 4-1 in district play, and assure themselves of a playoff berth. Berryhill drops to 4-4 on the year and 2-3 in district play, and they'll fight it out with Westville and Beggs for that final playoff spot as this District 2A4 action continues, and a big score from Cassia Stadium between the Commandos and the Haskell Haymakers.
Yeah, the Commandos ahead late in the 3rd quarter, 28-0. So Cassia Hall, like we've been talking about all year long, seemingly one of the best teams in the state, aren't knocking down their end of the bargain at all there.
Going for their 6th shutout in 8 games, Cassia Hall is. So hopefully Commandos can hold on to that 28-0 lead late in the 3rd and win that one. And that one should stand for the Commandos. Well, our players of the game, Jack, not bad.
Boy, the Patriots had so many players.